Ever since he came to Seattle in 2012, Russell Wilson has been nothing short but professional. Through Super Bowl victories and Super Bowl defeats, and in his multiple Pro Bowl season, he has always said and done the right things, which makes what he did in early February truly out of character. He publicly voiced his displeasure with the Seahawks organization as he doesn't like how many times he's been hit and he wants to be more involved in personnel decisions. So, what does that mean for both parties? Does Wilson want out? Are his frustrations valid? And how will things go from here? All that will be answered more coming up. Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Andrew, and welcome back to Sports but Casually. And welcome back to another NFL video of mine. We'll be discussing more quarterback controversy, and it's about a quarterback that I didn't know could be controversial. I mean, he's never once spoken out. And of course, you know, I'm talking about Russell Wilson of the Seattle Seahawks. I told you guys in my last video that I'll be covering something that was hitting close to home. And how much closer to home is it than my favorite player, my quarterback on my favorite team? Shout out to all the Seahawks fans out there, by the way. So without further ado, let's get into it. What's been happening up there in Seattle. But before we get into everything, make sure to hit the like button on this video, make sure to share with a friend if you feel so inclined, and to subscribe to my channel. I try to have videos out hopefully every week. I don't want to put my foot in my mouth, but hopefully every week. So after a fast start to the 2020 season, the whole let Russ cook movement, if that's what you want to call it, simmered down pretty quickly as the offense and his production took a big step back halfway through the season. This step back was the main cause of us losing in the wildcard round against our divisional opponents, the Los Angeles Rams, at home. This marks the fifth time that the Seattle Seahawks were unable to advance past the divisional round in the playoffs since we lost that heartbreaking Super Bowl a couple of years ago. But you know, we don't talk about that. We don't talk about that. So, around the beginning of this month, February, Russell Wilson has voiced his concerns and his frustrations of being hit too much and being sacked too much, and how he wants more say in personnel choices with the Seattle Seahawks when it comes to roster moves, and I assume coaching moves as well. Now, you know, comes out of the blue. Like, Russell Wilson is someone that never talks out of turn and is a company guy. I mean, as I said, he ends everything and go Hawks, as annoying as it can be sometimes. And because he took his frustrations public, the organization isn't happy about it. But that begs the question, is he right though? I mean, well, he has a point. Since 2012, Russell Wilson has been sacked the most out of any quarterback, about 394 times, which is insane. He's first by an arm and a leg. And if you watch Seahawks games, you see that 9 out of 10 times he's running for his life trying to complete a pass or trying not to get hit. But what you need to understand, and I'm sure what Seahawks fans already know, is that it's also kind of his fault in a sense. I mean, taking long in the pocket is kind of Russell Wilson's style. Extending plays is what he does best, and it's a double-edged sword. Now, let me throw some stats at you. Last season, according to ESPN.com, the Seahawks were 9th in the league with a 62% team pass block win rate. Pass block win rate metric just shows the rate that linemen can sustain their blocks for more than 2.5 seconds. Pro Football Focus ranked the Seahawks O-line 14th overall in the league this season and 16th in pass blocking grade, which is the highest it's been since he's been in Seattle. It's not the best, but it's clearly around average or above average slightly. So at least for this season, his O-line isn't total trash. So this begs the question, why is he getting sacked so much? As I alluded to before, this is his play style. Russell Wilson likes to extend the plays and hold on to the ball. Now, I don't think he does this on purpose. I don't think he's trying to play hero ball or anything like that. But I think sometimes he's grown so accustomed to him having to just make something out of nothing when, sometimes it's not really like that. He has time, he has a clean pocket, and could deliver something short. But I think he's gotten so accustomed to how he had to operate before in past seasons. And I also do think that him trying to extend plays, and sometimes it's not really there. So, as I said, he's the best deep ball thrower in the league. So naturally, teams would be looking to defend that and drop more guys back in the secondary. So it's harder for your teammates to get open. So you're holding on to the ball a little longer. You're giving more time for D ends and D tackles to come up and try to wrap you up instead of taking the short underneath routes. That's something that's personally that I've noticed at times, and it can be pretty frustrating. I don't know if that's coaching, if that's the play call, or if that's just Wilson trying to make magic. He's Houdini, and I understand that, but sometimes it does get a little frustrating. The Seahawks have received calls about his availability, but there's no way he's getting traded. I mean, for one, the Seahawks front office aren't interested. You're not going to trade away your franchise quarterback. And two, even if, God forbid, that they decide to trade him, they'll eat an enormous cap hit. I mean, for one, if he was traded before June 1st, this would trigger $39 million in dead cap money against the Seahawks salary cap in 2021. Also, there's a no trade clause, and Wilson will have to waive that in order to be dealt with. So, you can't trade him to any and anybody. It's whoever he wants to go to. So, what's next for Wilson and Seattle? It's obvious that Wilson wants help up front in the trenches. But it's easier said than done. Firstly, the Seahawks don't have their first round or their third round pick in this upcoming draft. And secondly, they only have about $14.5 million under the salary cap for next season. And they have some big upcoming free agents that they may look to re-sign. Guys like Ethan Posage, Shaquille Griffith, KJ Wright, David Moore, and I'm forgetting somebody. This is gonna fucking kill me. Chris Carson. How the fuck could I forget Chris Carson? So with guys like those needing new contracts, they'll really have to either decide they're gonna commit to going over the salary cap to get him more help up front and to really, as you say, you want to satisfy your franchise quarterback. Or they just need to decide, okay, we're not gonna bring back some of these guys. We're gonna try to take whatever money we have to pay one of these big free agents up on the offensive line. It's a good free agency class for offensive linemen. So at least that's working in their favor. But God forbid we make no moves in free agency and don't draft anybody on the O-line. Is all hope lost? I don't think so. I mean, Damian Lewis seems like a stud. He had a great rookie season. And Dwayne Brown, although he's 35 and on the final year of his contract, he's still one of the better tackles in the NFL. Top 10 in my opinion. And he really gives me some Andrew Whitworth vibes. A guy that's consistently putting quality performance in his older age. So I really do think that next season we should try to re-sign him, unless he falls off a cliff, God forbid. But it's not all hope is lost, but we just have to develop our young guys in Lewis, and hopefully Dwayne Brown just remains consistent as one of the best tackles. But that's just my opinion, guys. I know that the Seahawks aren't moving Russell Wilson. Him calling out the front office like that, although it is pretty risky, you could probably do it when you're the franchise quarterback. And I hope this serves as a driving piece for the front office to acquire some offensive linemen and to really address that situation. Man, my light died. Really address the situation because, a while now, for the past couple of years, we haven't really invested too much money in our offensive line. So I would really like to see an offseason where we put focus on our offensive line. I mean, our defense, it will improve from last season. At the beginning to the end, our offense, we have these skilled players. We just need an offensive line, because I believe that in order to be a true contender, you need a great offensive line up front. Helps do with the run game, helps keep the pocket clean, and buys more time for wide receivers and tight ends to get open. So let's just hope this is a call to action and we see a more improved Seattle Seahawks next season, and hopefully we could get out the divisional round. And also hopefully the Rams won't kick our ass so much. But let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. I will see you all again some other time with another NFL video. But if not, you'll see me every week with my weekly NBA reviews and update series. Alright guys, that's it for me. Later.
Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys.